Hey, Yanks, Your Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Well, we're at the last week of February, and we have a little bit of a problem. That's because our baskets are a lot further ahead than where they really should be. So we should have planted them about 2 to 3 weeks ago, maybe just barely a month ago from plugs. So they should be, a few inches long, and instead we have baskets that are probably close to a foot. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of pruning here. We're basically going to give this basket a haircut so that we have room to spare once this basket starts growing. So I'm not really worried about removing too much foliage at this point, and I'm just going to kind of talk and do this at the same time because we've got March, and we've got April, and we've got half of May to go. So we have a long time, and these baskets, because we kept our own plant material over from last year, this gives us a lot of opportunity to shape and design our basket the way we want. So we're going to go in and we're just basically taking off any of those tips. So we're just taking the tips off the plant. Don't worry, I'll collect all of the trimmings later. And I'm trying to get this plant to do some branching and fill out for us. So this, don't mind the wilt. It did come out of the high humidity greenhouse and needs a little bit of a drink. But this basket is just fine as far as health. But yeah, we're gonna trim off some of this extra stuff, give it a haircut, bring it up about, well, some of this we're probably removing about 10 inches. I don't think that one's healthy. We'll go ahead and take that one off. That'll fill in, move that one. We're just kind of taking the longer plant material off. We'll just come in here and we'll do this here. Probably come in about there. And these baskets, they will branch just fine after this. In fact, it'll make a nice full basket. Usually when I'm doing my hanging baskets, they get 3 or 4 pinches, and this is only the second pinch for them. So this is going to give us some nice shape there. So I'm going to do a general distance pruning. Then we'll come in and we'll do a nice tight pruning so you can see what's going on there. Or we're making those decisions as we're designing the shape of this basket. So there we go. Let's see if we've got a few more. You know what? I just don't like this branch here. We'll get rid of that one. Get rid of anything else that is diseased, that's damaged, has any other sort of issue going on, because we have plenty of time for that to all recover. Get that out of there. Yeah, this was kind of up against a wall, so we got a little bit of blank spot here. There we go. So that's a prune up there on that one. There's a few more of these we could pinch. We'll leave the blossoms there just because they're fun. There you go. There's one pruning. We'll do it on the other basket that is the twin of this one. So this, they were interwoven together, so that's kind of why we've got some issues there. They're too close together, so we're going to take some of that plant material off, just like this. Basically, stuff that's long is going to come off. The stuff that's short is going to stay. We're going to try to make sure that we don't have any really long runners that are getting away from us. Those can all come off there. Again, there's just a little wilt from being outside instead of in the humid greenhouse. So we'll make a bunch more of these prunings here. We're just taking the tips off and then making sure that that plant material is removed from the baskets because we don't want it to be in there. We don't want it to mold. We don't want it to cause issues. And our Glamiflage grape, which is in the center, that is just getting ready. So we're going to go ahead and take a pinch right off of the center of that. Again, that is our variegated petunia. It's got a nice deep purple flower, but it's going to offer that variegated foliage in there, which is going to be quite attractive. So I'll get the rest of these pruned off real quick. This is the first chance I've had to bring anything outside. Everything has been indoors and undercover and protected from the weather. So we get a chance to really kind of go crazy here, move a basket around, do some pruning. We're just looking for the longer stuff. We're going to just cut those off and remove them anywhere where we know that there's a end of a branch. we can come in and prune that. Just remove all that longer stuff. And this will make a nice full basket. Over here we have some stuff that just doesn't look good. It's stretched a little bit, so we're just going to go ahead and remove all of that. Trim that up quite a bit. And I'll come back here and I'll take some of these off of here. Trim some of these stems back. This one here. And again, we have plenty of time for this basket to recover. You can actually pinch your baskets up till about 6 weeks before a plant sale. 6 weeks should be enough time for it to recover and get some new buds growing. With these, from when that bud forms in that node of that plant to when it opens is generally about 1 month. So you don't want to do it any closer than 6 weeks. You want to have that plant have a chance to recover. Okay, I think that's about it for this one. Let's bring another one up here and we'll take an even closer look at it when we do that pruning decision. Here we go. This is a variety that I've been working on. It was a volunteer that came up. So you can kind of see the structure and the design. It's a really nice petunia. It does remind me of a bunch of other varieties, but this one came out of a seed packet. And I've noticed it's very, very cold hardy, and it has a great big purpley blue blossom. So I've done some work with this as far as some hybridization. And then I've kind of maintained stock of this just because I enjoy it quite well, or I enjoy it quite a lot. But let's look at some decisions here on how we're going to decide what we're going to prune off. So with this, we have one main leader here, another main leader here. And we want those leaders to activate any of the buds that are down lower and cause it to branch. And to do that, we simply just remove the tip of that branch. So we can come in there and you can just grab the tip of that branch and you can cut back a fair ways. Just like that. We're going to come in here. We're going to separate these out. We'll just do those. Again, here's like another long one. We can come in, we'll just go back a little bit more there, make a cutting there, or a trim there. Do that. We can just pull up any of those branches that are a little bit longer, and we'll just give them a little bit of a prune, and that will cause them to branch, and we'll get a fuller plant this way. This one I'm going to probably send back that direction. I've got one headed here, and I'll go ahead and give that one a prune. Got a little humidity wilt going on this Amore King of Hearts. This plant was just in the greenhouse a little bit ago, and it's outside now, and the stoma, or the pores of the plant, are open. So it went from a high humidity to a low humidity, so it needs a chance to absorb more water to put pressure back in the leaves and the stem, which is called turgor. So don't worry, it's still healthy. We're going to remove some of this extra that's around here, and then we're going to come up here and we're going to do a little pruning there. Just around the tips of this one. This is more of a clump forming rather than a trailing petunia. So we need to do a lot of our work up here, and it branches pretty well on its own, so we don't have to worry too much about it. There we do a little bit more work. Another one of these purples down here, and this one was shaded by another basket, which is why it kind of has some shape issues. And this is kind of why we are going through and pruning. We're trying to save ourselves a little bit of space in the greenhouse, and then buy ourselves a little bit of time, because we want these petunias to slow down and not grow so fast, because we are too far away from our actual growing season here. Even though, you know, it's t-shirt weather here and it doesn't look like winter in North Idaho, it still is. We could have snow at any time. Just because we haven't had it yet this year doesn't mean we're not going to get it. Inside we do have one of our firefly petunias, which is tucked in there. I had to do some pruning work. These other petunias are a bit more vigorous than the firefly. So we're pruning away from that to make sure that it doesn't overcrowd the fireflies. The firefly's glowing, or excuse me, well, yeah, it does glow, but as it's growing. So it's in the center, but it's slower growing, and it's more mounding but a smaller petunia than the others. So we really have to make sure that it's not overtaken. Get some more of this material out of here. You can see if you don't get the plant material out when they're in the greenhouse, where the airflow and is kind of low and the humidity is high, they can mold on you, and that can cause problems. So that's another reason to kind of open this basket up. Come in here, we'll take a few more off. There. We're going to leave those blossoms on there because they look good. Right. I think I'll take one more cutting or prune there. Give you a chance to see that that firefly is tucked in there. And then we're going to take this purple. We're going to prune him back. Move the old plant material. And going in there, just removing the tips of the branches. Just like that. Like really quick bonsai. Don't have to wait years. You can just do it right away. There we go. I think that one looks good. And we'll put the small basket up here and we'll prune him to shape too. All right, I did do some pruning work already to this, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find any tips of the petunias here, and I'm going to give them a little bit of a trim to force them to start branching out. And the Amore King of Hearts is definitely a heavy bloomer. So to get it to branch is going to be kind of hard. It's going to freely branch on its own, but this is going to help bring that back under control. And this MRP here, so for Mr. Ross's purple, I'm going to prune that a little bit. This one has already been pruned a little bit, and it activated this bud here, which is why that one is taken off. But we'll come back in here, do a little bit more trimming and pruning to help get some better shape in this basket. This one has already had some work done on it. I did some pruning when I planted it the other day. I think this has only been planted about a week or so, so it's still looking pretty good. These are our backdrop petunias, so they'll be in the back of the video. Any of the videos that we shoot in the greenhouse, they're generally going to be in the backdrop. And then once the weather gets nicer, they will go outside. So just going to trim off some old blossoms, because we don't need those. Make this continue to look nice. Remove any organic matter that could die and then mold, cause damage to our basket. There you go. Anyway, there's a little bit of light pruning on our baskets, getting them ready for spring and making sure that we have some good shape on there. Even this size basket here is a little bit far along for this time of the year. It's pretty good size, so it's at least 18 inches across. And a lot of times when you buy a hanging basket around Mother's Day for Mom, this is the size basket you're going to get. And we are a long ways off from Mother's Day. That's still quite a ways to go. So anyway, I figured you'd enjoy seeing a little bit of pruning and some progress on our baskets. And we will definitely keep you updated as these go. And you can also see those in the background of our videos when we do those in the lab. All right, as always, I thank you for watching our videos. I hope you've learned something. I hope you enjoy yourself. And most of all, I hope you subscribe. There's a lot more flower-related content coming this summer. And we are well underway in our growing for spring. So there's lots more plant-related content. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them down below. And I answer just about every question. As long as it's channel appropriate, I'll answer that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. See ya.